Hello, my name is Tshidi Madia. I'm from Team Eyewitness News. I'm coming to you from the Moses Mabhida Stadium, an empty Moses Mabhida Stadium. The ANC was here over the weekend with its supporters. Thousands and thousands of the party's faithful were here in order for the party to launch its 2024 elections manifesto. Maihlome. That's what this stage of the ANC's election campaign is called. Of course, the next leg is the Tshangqoba rally that they will hold at the FNB Stadium. I think first, let me speak about the psychological warfare that is the numbers game, stadiumology as we call it. I think there's no question the ANC won that. They didn't even win that on Saturday when they held their manifesto. I think that gimmick, that issue, the warfare, the numbers game, if you may, we saw it at the beginning of the week when the ANC's leaders started mobilizing around parts of the province and thousands would turn up. I mean, I felt on Monday when they were on the ground that they could have just launched their manifesto there and then and let it be, because they'd had these numbers. In fact, I think the ANC must thank its former president, Jacob Zuma, because were it not for the advent of the MK party, Umkhonto Sizwe party, I don't think the ANC would have seen the kind of numbers it's seen everywhere it's gone. I think that closing rank and rallying towards each other is what got the ANC the results it had in this province throughout the past week. Does that make sense? So stadiumology for me, that psychological warfare, that show of strength, as they want to say, is definitely there. Does that translate to votes? I don't know. We need to wait for the 29th of May to see if that happens. Will they get over 10 million votes in their favor? Again, I don't know. Which leads me to my next point. You've been in government for well over 30 years. What do you say, though, to well over 27 million South Africans that will convince them to renew your mandates, right? That will convince them that you're still fit for purpose, that you know what you're doing, that your policies will be matched by the necessary implementation, something you've been criticized for lacking, for failing to deliver on for all of the 30 years you've been around, at least the latter part of the 30 years. So that's a difficulty that the ANC approaches this event with. Did they actually answer it to my satisfaction? I don't think so. But I'll tell you what they did, right? So what did they do? They set out 6 priorities. Each of these come with their own set of targets and goals, if you may, along with what the ANC will do over 5 years. Literally in the manifesto is written, what will the ANC do about such and such and such and such, right? The first thing that they picked at, and I think you will know why this is number one, because it's number one on the minds of many South Africans, is that they want to put South Africa to work, a jobs plan. Sounds familiar? If you think about the past few manifestos, we've heard jobs plans. If you think about the next coming manifestos, you will hear jobs plans, because unemployment is at crisis level in our country. We are worried about what the youth is facing, young people out of jobs. So the ANC seeks to answer that question in this manifesto through a presidential stimulus program. They speak about what infrastructure will do as far as jobs creation is concerned, where they believe energy, infrastructure, logistics, think about the railways, the roads, that through those projects, that's how the ANC believes in part it can resolve the issue of jobs. They want to create 2.5 million jobs through those kind of projects, an additional 1.1 million, I think, 1 million jobs through co-ops, through small enterprises. These are now the towns and the villages. So that's what the ANC's vision is. Ultimately 3.5 million jobs in the space of 5 years. Criticism will say that doesn't even dent the number. And I think criticism is correct in this case. It doesn't dent the number of unemployment, of joblessness that we are facing at the moment. It's an issue of pensions. The ANC wants to go and consult, have conversations with the financial sector. Why? Because the infrastructure that we speak of, you need to pump money into that. Investments are required, and the ANC believes that pensions might be able to assist in that space. So look for that. The other issues that I found interesting, the other priorities that they speak about tackling the high cost of living. I don't know if South Africans will believe that. And I'll speak about believability a little bit later on. They want to build industries to achieve an inclusive economy. They want to invest in people. They want to defend democracy and advance freedom. That part, that chapter of advancing democracy, or defending democracy rather, they speak about keeping homes safe, fighting corruption, building a developmental state, and promoting nation building. They also speak about building, of course, and this is like stock standard stuff, building a better Africa and a better world. By and large, this manifesto you've seen before. If you look at 2019, or if you look at some of their January 8 statements, the promises they make, the commitments they make, the things they want to do, they've been promising and telling us they want to do them. An integrated crime fighting system, they've kind of sort of been plodding along and making those suggestions. Interestingly enough, one of the other hot topics that makes it into this manifesto is the issue of immigration, where they want to have deportation centers and refugee centers built closer to borders. It is a ticking issue, immigration. Pay attention to what some of the political parties are saying about the issue of borders. Crime, I don't think there's anyone who doesn't question that crime is again in crisis mode. Many things in our country are in crisis mode, and that's part of what the battle is for the ANC, for me at least, is that it's all good and well to have a manifesto. It's something else for that manifesto to lack the practicality that one expects from a party that's in government, right? You can have a wishing list, and that kind of sort of is this, but I think that you expect this from the opposition and not the government of the day. So I'm not sure if the ANC in this manifesto, it's a 58-page odd manifesto, not as big as the chunk that EFF gave us, but in the 58 pages, I'm not sure if the party's gone far enough, it's pragmatic enough, for me at least, right? But I also think the other issue that the ANC has, the bigger issue, the bigger monkey, proverbial monkey, is the issue of believability, credibility. I think the ANC has done enough to dent its own credibility, and as it goes back to voters to ask for another chance, it's very difficult. So as the ANC goes to the election and asks for another chance, it's very difficult to imagine what those conversations will actually look like, or what those voters will think once the ANC leaders and their big cards have left their homes. This is a party that we've watched fumble time and memorial, make commitments to fight issues like corruption. We're still having to deal with scary levels of corruption, and the elites continuing to protect each other from being dealt with. We're still waiting for bloody convictions on state capture crimes. So that should tell you everything about the ANC in terms of believing what it's selling. The ANC has always been criticized for great policies, terrible at implementation. I don't think there's anything that I've observed this past weekend that suggests, to me at least, that the ANC will see through these commitments. I'm worried that 5 years from now, we'll have yet another promise that things will be better. But ultimately, what the ANC is saying to you as citizens is, let's do better, faster, together.